Ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between, it is my honor to welcome you back to what has historically been one of the El Clasicos of Irish Dota. Joon squad taking on Wongs Bakery tonight after a tumultuous series last night where Wongs, following an undefeated streak, fell 2-0 to the side of Sentinels Esports. They now face off against Joon squad, a team still yet to secure a win in this tournament. I'm Runnintel, and joining me for the first time on the desk alongside myself, but kicking some ass in my absence, is the wonderful Click. Click, how are we?
Yeah, very well, thanks. I hear you've been feeling a bit under the weather after being away on holiday for so long, but like you say, you're back and ready to kick some ass yourself. So yeah, I'm excited for this one though. Two teams which I've had a bit of a rivalry, I hear, over the years. So do you want to give us some insight into kind of how that's been unfolding recently?
I will not speak, for if I speak, I will be in big trouble, Click. But looking at the draft so far, let's take a look at these heroes that are banned out. So Wong's immediately ban out the Doom and the Dawnbreaker, both meta pause 3s that have been quite successful recently. The Dawnbreaker is something that Faith Kian is specifically very comfortable on. In exchange, June squad, they ban out the TA, which we've seen Coral play to quite good effect in the past, but not a ton this tournament, if I'm correct. The Maniac Tusk is an obvious one. The NP, they favored first pick yesterday, but didn't quite work out for them. And then the Undying ban's just meta, right, Click?
Yeah, definitely. This Undying obviously being played typically in the 3 role or the 5, just seems to win every lane it's in and then continues to pressure the game. Kind of on the 3 pause, it kind of works like a Darks here, I suppose, in some sense. Just kind of dominating the lane and then getting an early tower, but needs a lot less farm. So yeah, taking that out. But they come back with a Quap, potentially flexing this as well. It's been known to be played on the pause 1 role recently. I think Coral has played it, if I'm not mistaken.
You're absolutely right. So this is something that the side of Wongs do flex between 2 and 1, and actually definitely prefer having on that, or prefer, I should say, having on that pause 1 slot. Koro has been practicing a lot from what I know from chatting with other casters. It's something that he really rates quite highly, and it's an interesting pick for him. The pick and response from June squad is interesting in that it is also somewhat of a flex. The Abaddon comes out. I know for a fact that Faith Kian plays this, but it's not necessarily his typical playstyle insofar as it's not one of these flashy playmakers. I think looking at it right now, this is more likely to be a Mr. Diddle's 5 ABBA than a 3, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'd keep it open for now. We'll see what comes out in the bans, whether they choose to ban any supports or carries on the side of Wongs. Maybe assuming which role this Abaddon will be going into, but it's decent enough against the co-op. It's got the purge against the dagger. If it's a mid co-op, pause 1. Is it the dagger she skills and it's her nuke that she skips out on usually and goes for the stats? Is that how it's built?
I believe so,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, Abaddon has seen a lot of success recently in the pause 1 role as well. So we'll see if the both of the first picks are indeed pause 1. That would be quite interesting indeed. But Batrider banned out. Is this like a specialist hero, or is it just one of those strong pause 4 supports at the moment that you
It's
don't want to deal
both.
with?
Batrider
Mm-hmm.
seeing a lot of success at the moment, but also it's something they flex between 4 and 2. It's something that's played by Solar Crest as an ex-pause 4 player. He has quite a significant experience, Batrider. He's known to be able to pop off on it from the mid lane, so it's a ban in the mid, but it's also perhaps the hero that Mousy has been practicing the most this season, the one that he wants to have for his current roster. So I'm not super surprised to see it banned. I am a little bit more surprised to see that tiny ban. I've seen Solar Crest play it, but not to the extent where they would ban it out, which makes me think that it's being banned to cover something that they want in the
Yeah,
future, perhaps.
I think this will make sense as things kind of play out here. Well, we'll see. Yeah, I'm interested to see what they pick next because it might roll lock something, but Timbersaw as well banned.
Yeah, that's a Shirk
I
special. It's
yeah yeah
you don't care about anyone else getting it, but Shirks is so much like he's a great player, but he's so much better on Timbersaw than any other player and so much more comfortable that I think what the side of Junes have done here is they saw last night, they know they're thrown off, they don't want him playing his most comfortable hero.
Yeah, that makes sense. When you feel like you're on the back foot, like Wongs may feel, even though they might expect to beat June Squad, coming off the back of a 2-0 defeat, which was quite brutal as well. If you just take away those comfort picks, um, you know you're going to be still on that back foot, and you don't want to um, be forced into like picking things that you're not comfy on. So yeah, they've done a good job covering that. But the silencer coming out, it's decent against the Quav. I imagine it's just going into the pause 5 roll.
Yeah, definitely. That's the Diddle's 5 silencer. And there is another one of Shirks's comfort heroes. It was the other one that I normally associate him with. It's always the Timber and the Darkseer that we tend to see him have these incredible performances on. So glad to see they are getting him onto something that he's kind of comfy on. Last night we saw when they put him onto the Kunkka, it was a hero that clearly he wasn't particularly comfortable on. And I think the results showed. So I think this decision by Wongs to go back to basics makes a lot of sense. And the next pickup is the Naga. This is another hero that they play in multiple roles. According to my wonderful co-caster Taylor, who has the inside track on this team. They play it both on the 5 and on the 1. But it is preferential in the 5. We saw it yesterday piloted by Kamki on the 5. Obviously, it's pretty good into any kind of wombo combo team fight, which historically are the kind of heroes they pick for Solar Crest, things like the Sand King, things like his Ember Spirit. So I think quite a solid pick here, and also a really nice setup for the Darkseer, isn't it?
Yeah, they've definitely got 3 nice heroes here for the team fights. Clockwork coming out to kind of maybe just kind of split that up a little bit. Also, maybe a deny pick. You don't want to see like a big strength pause 4 hero running around with your Darkseer with like a level 3 or 4 Ion Shell in the early game and just getting forced out of the lane. So I can understand why they'd want the Clockwork. Also, just to provide a bit more frontline. What role do you think that's going into though? Because
I know
surely it
for a
has to be
fact what
4.
row it's on. I know for a fact because I have a text from Mousy at 4 o'clock this afternoon saying, I said best of luck. He said, I will try my best. Maybe these fucks will finally let me play Clockwork. So I can promise
Ah.
you with utter impunity, this is a pause for Mousy Clock. And now I think the Abaddon could be Catalyst, but it just doesn't feel like a Catalyst hero to me. I haven't seen him play it before. I don't know if it's a 1. I'm leaning towards that being a 3, which means we're probably looking at the Catalyst or the Solar Crest hero coming up here. But no, yeah, and there's a Catalyst hero. It's
Okay.
Sven.
Yeah, Sven, he's made quite the comeback recently. He's just very dominant, kind of at all levels at the moment. Even if he does have a rough lane, which, I mean, he's going to be into Darkseer here, and he's got the health to kind of survive through the early levels, and then once it gets to the point where Darkseer is just going to beat on your tower, you can just leave and take your jungle stacks and whatnot. So, yeah, fairly solid pickup, paired with the silencer in lane. It's good enough. You've got a slow, you've got a stun, you've got enough health to get through this Darkseer's constant damage. So I think it should do just fine here. It also kind of covers off the carry Naga potential as well. Obviously with the cleave. So
Yeah, this is an issue I'm kind of seeing for June's God right now. I don't think they know that they flex this quap, and I think they're playing as if it's a mid, or they're drafting as if it's a mid. And I'm a little concerned if that's going to end up drafting them into a bit of a corner. Thinking now, Wong's are obviously looking for a melee support for Maniac. Historically, the melee supports he plays, Nyx isn't very good right now. Clockwork's already gone. They've banned out the Tusk. The Spirit Breaker could be a possibility coming out here potentially. I know it's not particularly meta, but they are going to need some form of strong 4 to carry that Ion Shell. And I just don't know what other melee pause 4s that Maniac plays.
I wouldn't mind seeing a CK here.
I mean, yeah, it's been used to good effect in pro games. I mean, but it's one of those things again where do they favor meta suitability over comfort? And I think that's often a really hard question for any drafter, right? They're taking a lot of time with this one as well. So I think they're struggling
Yeah,
as much as perhaps we are.
it's tough. They don't have much lockdown, to be fair. Like they've got a very much run at you, blow you up kind of draft so far. They don't have any stun, and they still don't as the TV comes out. So
Okay. Now
is this
this
just
is
is this a Coral TB or is this something? Is this a 4 TB? Or is this something that I would not be anticipating here? What's
I
going
think
on
it's a
with this
4
pick?
TB. If I were to
Okay,
guess, I
well,
think it's a 4 TB. Huh.
man, that's an odd pick. I don't think it's particularly good against Sven. I mean, if you armlet and if you go like armlet Shadowblade and run around blowing him up, I mean, it's good against anything. But um,
It's really good against
I'm
Abba,
not.
right? You get the Curse of Avernus from
Um,
the reflection.
yeah, it is decent to be fair for the passive. I just I'm not convinced by the draft overall though. I don't know. Maybe they spent a lot of time on that pick as well. Um, I don't know if they're convinced by it, but we'll see how this goes with the last pick. But if this is a 4 TV, I'm not really sure if what it's like offering as much. But I mean, maybe it'll become apparent when it comes to game time. But at the moment, I'm not really sold on it.
This is interesting because they're still banning out Maniac heroes on the 4. They're banning out the Shadow Demon. When in reality, I really do think the last pick is this Nagi pick. Yeah, another Maniac ban there with the Dark Willow. I think that they banned something else here. They're going to take, I think, Ember Spirit and they're going to put it on Nagi for this 5th pick. That is the run and tell hot take in advance. Both Solar Crest
Okay.
and Nagi like playing it. Solar Crest is going to want it so they can kind of be doubly effective in their drafting here by taking it away from him. And also, Nagi is an extremely competent Ember Spirit player. So I think what they're going to do here is they're gonna pick the Ember. They're going to put the TB on 4. I could be completely wrong.
And they banned the
This
puck.
could be a carry. They ban the puck, which means Solar Crest is running a little low in his pool right now. Quite interestingly, I'm actually not entirely sure what he's going to do. He could, and this is the thing I'm considering right now is if they do pick the Ember, something left in the pool that he's very fond of is that mid Earthshaker. So I think if they do take the Ember, if our nonsense thoughts here are true,
Oh,
never mind. It's a mid Quap, it's a 4 Ricky, and it's a 1 TB.
okay. Yeah, I like that a bit better. I like that a bit better, to be fair. Um, Ricky and an ideal ion shell target as well. Obviously, you can just run around and cause all sorts of trouble. Force you to buy far too many wards and vision just to help your team out and let this Sven farm. So now it looks to me like they've gone for more of a tempo lineup. Um, a very much 4 heroes running at you. This TV is going to be farming off a storm, trying to keep up with this Sven, while he gets pressured by the rest of those heroes.
Now I'm interested to see this last pick for June's. It's probably Ember or Shaker, and the question is which they prioritize more. The Ricky really does put a thorn in the side of the Ember Spirit, which puts me off thinking that it's any good here. I actually really like the Earthshaker idea here, purely because the Naga illusions, the TB illusions, it's not terrible into lane against the Quap. I think it could be this last pick. Let's see what they go for. They go for the Leshrac. Okay.
Lovely. Okay, well that gives them some actual magic damage, because the one thing I would say they lack is on this silencer Abba clock, until Abba gets a couple of items, they don't really have much damage between them. So it looks like they've just gone for something that's pretty solid. Shouldn't do badly at all in this lane. Like he can easily get his runes mid and stuff as well, because if Flop blinks on you, she's just dead. And Leshrac will probably make some early moves into the side lanes to try and with the power runes and try and get a lot done with this ridiculous facet. Like, this is the most stupid facet in the game. I mean, it's up there anyway.
Up there with expanded armature as well. That clockwork facet that has like 99% pick rate. They're like, we added a third one,
Yeah.
pick something else. It was like, nah, we're good, bro. I like the clock Lesh combo as well, purely just because putting so into cogs, then enabling Leshrac to be able to blink on top of it with that misanthropy is super, super nice. On
Mhm.
paper, whose draft are you favoring, Mr. Click?
Oh, all right. Well, I have paper, but it's old and torn and from 2020. Let's have a think here. Think I think Wong's draft, just because I think it has a bit more tempo to it, I think their draft is better. That's not to say that if this Sven manages to get his farm and stays well above this Terrorblade, within the first 25 minutes or so. I think that they could just get the first Aegis, take all the outer towers, and with this Leshrac running around with the clockwork, I mean, they have the lockdown, they've got the damage, nobody is safe. So, anything could happen in this game.
Anything could happen indeed, folks. A reminder, this is game 3, I believe, for the side of Jude's and for Wongs, if I'm not mistaken, of the Irish Dota League Season 5, taking place between Wong's Bakery, who stand at 2 wins and 1 loss. Oh, so this is definitely game 4 for them. And
Yeah,
June
game 4.
Squad, who are yet to take a win in any series. So really important game for June Squad. One, they kind of have to win. Let's see if they can pull it off, especially off the back of yesterday, which was undoubtedly a bit of a confidence hit on Wongs. I'm really excited to see this game. I hope that everyone in chat is also. Let's get straight into it. 2 teams heading out towards their own runes. Smoke available on the clockwork if they decide to go for this level 1 go. I do think the level 1 go on the side of June's is considerably stronger here with the clockwork cogs and the diabolic edict, right, Click?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think they have much really on Wongs here at level 1. There is the Ion Shell, but it's not really going to be enough. But I'm interested to see how these lanes go. Oh, we'll get a smoke up.
Yeah, smoke up from Mousy, moving in 5 heroes. They've drawn the line towards that bottom rune spot. If they manage to catch out this Ricky, who is showing quite far forward, but not far enough where he's going to pop that smoke quite yet. Out come the illusions from Kamki. Are they stupid enough to fall for it? No, they are not, but it does definitely let them know that they are going to be standing over these runes. And I think Kamki is going to send out that last illusion onto that top rune. Hang on, stun out onto Maniac. Maniac's been caught. He's hit with the slow by Godston's driver. He has the blink away, but they're covering that blink with Mousy on this clockwork. And now, a lot of trouble for Maniac. 1 or 2 right clicks, all it's going to take for him to go down. And he is dead. First blood goes to the Sven as well. That's not the hero you want to give the first blood to.
That was nice
-1
movement there
for
from Mousy.
GDD. Woo!
Yeah, very nicely played. Yeah, he did get a deny on the rune with the Naga illusion, but will kind of bleed the first blood, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a 1 for 2 in terms of the rune exchange at the end of all that, but that first blood is, you're probably still pretty pleased with that if you're the side of June Squad. A nice start to this game for them. Let's have a look at these lanes. This top lane is going to be actually Mousy pivoting towards the 5. I forgot they'd done that this tournament. With the Clockwork Sven, which changes things considerably, I think, and I think is far less scared of the Ricky than perhaps the Silencer would have been.
Yeah, I think it's just to kind of man up a bit, and again, he's got the extra health against these Ion Shells.
Most certainly, and looking down, seems like there's a bit of all chatting happening as well at the very start of this game. And looking at this bottom lane, you have the double slows coming out from both the Abba and this Silencer, but I'm a little bit worried that this TB with the early damage that he has will simply be able to, especially with the skill of a player like Coral, will simply be able to outlast hit them. So that is definitely going to be a concern for the side of Junes.
Yeah.
But so far, pretty stable across the lanes, with Faith Kian being the only one falling considerably behind.
Yeah, Carl, I think should just be fine, at least in the early levels. And if he does get to the point, I mean, he's already got the point in Conjure Image. Maybe thinking ahead as well about if he has to abandon this lane at some point. The jungle is there waiting for him as well, so shouldn't have too many problems though. Again, Abaddon, these early levels, doesn't have too much damage ramped up yet.
Top lane looks like a bit of a go out here onto Mousy on the Clockwork with that double Ion Shell, but it is just a level 1 Ion Shell, and famously, Darkseer, not a hero that really picks up until he hits that level 3. So not too spooky. Speaking of level 3, both mid laners now have it, so this is kind of the point at which they both gain the ability to kill each other if either of them fuck up. So it'll be interesting to see if either manage to do this. A lot of damage coming out there onto the Leshrac. Could be in some trouble here. Yeah. Solar Crest going down. As I said, that level 3, got to be careful for it. Nagi takes out Solar Crest and now gains a level advantage off of doing so.
Yeah, 2 points in Shadow Strike is nothing to be nothing to scoff at, and Leshrac did have the Fairy Fire, but wasn't able to get it off. So yeah, Nagi will be very happy with that trade.
Top lane looks like they're trying to go onto that onto that Lotus, but they aren't able to do so. Now the stun's out. Does Mousy have Cogs? He has no mana for it right now, unfortunately. Stick in 2 seconds. If he has the mana for Cogs here, he gets the kill, but unfortunately, just not quite enough. Shirks, though, now very, very low. Gonna have to deal with that go and its consequences. Meanwhile, then very happy. Oh, nice use there of the Cogs. Do they have anything to back it up? They have the stun coming out, but it's not gonna be enough damage because he doesn't quite connect there with that Cog. So he is able to get out. Now it looks like Ricky's going to try to make it a little aggressive, but not a whole lot he can do there in the end. But still, nice exchange. The safe lane going decently well, but so far, all 3 top of the cores are all on the side of Wong's Bakery.
Yeah, just that level advantage in the top lane there for Joon's squad, being level 3 before the Darkseer is, and able to pressure quite hard as actually now with the level 3.
They have the level 3, they have that Iron Shell, they are able to walk away from it just in time, but they're going to need some mana on this clock suit. He needs to ferry out a Mango, and he does exactly that. Good heads-up play there from Mousy. Means that they will at least be able to contest this lane, but it is just going to get harder and harder. And speaking of harder and harder, looks like a go being gone here now on the bottom lane onto this Nagasar. Taking a lot of right clicks here from Faith Kian, but not quite enough where they're able to pressure him. Coral also getting quite low, but once again, with that high armor that he has, he's not particularly perturbed by the nonsense of Abaddon.
I'm actually surprised about how well this Naga is faring in the lane. Able to actually man up on the Abaddon. One of the few heroes with this much armor in the early game, especially on the pause 5 roll. So, yeah, very, very nicely done.
Indeed. All 3 lanes so far are going really, really nicely for Wong. Still within a 1k, but if you look at these CS charts, you have 10 denies on this TB. Incredible job so far from Koro to really keep these levels down. We see that now with the difference, the level 3 versus the level 4. Being able to exert a lot more pressure consequentially as well. Looking back at this top lane now, you've got the Clockwork. Oh, never mind. Mid. Off camera, Nagi manages to get off that Sonic Wave and kills Solarcrest. So 0-2 in lane for this Leshrac. Top lane, though, they are going to make a go. They do get off that stun as well as those right clicks. 1 or 2 more is all they're going to need. He does get off the Surge. But now instead it's the Sven who's in trouble. He needs to be very careful. He's almost going down to this Ricky. Nice use there. The Blood Grenade by Mousy keeps him alive. Manages to potentially kill this Ricky as well. Huge play there by Mousy.
Oof, wow. Very, very close. Catalyst there, barely able to survive, but Leshrac again getting caught in the mid lane is very costly. Just with this Leshrac build, it's the Brown Boots, bottle build. You don't have any stats.
Here's his way back in, though. He's coming in bottom lane onto Koro. He has the Lightning Storm. Koro will not be able to outdo this damage, and Solarcrest gets a commiseration kill onto that TB. Very needed, as you were just saying, right? -1 from GDD again in the chat. Oh, hang on. The Darkseer could be in some trouble again here. Shirks needs to be careful, but actually so does this Sven, because those blink-ins from the Ricky, and now the Blood Grenade on Mousy. Mousy is all but dead here on this Clockwork, doing what he can to walk away, make like a sheep, get the flock out of there, but Waka Flocka, down he goes. Death on Mousy.
Oh, he survived for longer than I thought he was going to. The 2 ion shells on top of him, but yeah, eventually going down. This Darkseer at this point should be fine. He's got the Vanguard.
Crouching Dragon. Hidden bastard. Here comes the Quap. He hits him up with... You don't even need to ult him. He's gonna... Oh, let him last it. The gentlemanly agreement. The duel happens. Hamilton aims towards the sky, and Aaron Burr chops him down to the Queen of Pain. Very nice kill there for Nagi, who's having a stormer game so far.
Yeah, he's all over it, but looks like Lesh wants to make a play of his own. Oh no, he's popped the Edict on the illusion though.
Unfortunate.
It's going to be costly. And that might be the last chance they'll get before Carl hits 6 on the Terrorblade as well, so going to be a lot more difficult to gank in the future.
The Quap is scouting out the stacks that God's Drunkest Driver Diddles has made, and now he's going immediately onto this Solar Crest Lesh. He does get hit with that Sonic Wave. He dies again here. This is hugely problematic, and indeed he does. It's another kill for Nagi. Solar Crest really struggling to have some impact here on this Leshrac.
Yeah, that's a complete disaster for his game, honestly. Like, he needed a gank to come off, given how the lane was going. And Quap with a gank onto the Sven, successful. Leshrac, then going down to the next Quap ult is just absolutely brutal for his game.
Would you like to hear what their call sounds like right now? I can do an impression if you'd like. It's
all right, let's hear a few seconds.
It's Solar Crest. He's gone. Ah, these dingoes stole my babies. I'm Australian. And that's what's going on in the call. It's very
Excellent.
complex discussion, you know. How'd you like my Australian accent? Was it good? Did I pull it off?
It was honestly, it was
Ah,
unnoticeable.
the dingoes. They stole my baby.
Gonna be an 8-minute tower
Meanwhile,
here. Pretty
indeed,
quick
and a
for
nice one to get.
the offlane. Yeah.
I think the advantage they gained in that safe lane forced Mousy off that lane, enabled them to take that top tower, um, and has really put them in a position where now it seems like that snowball that you discussed during the drafting stage might start coming to fruition, especially with the level advantage that these supports have. I mean, this Ricky's closing in on a 6 already.
Yeah, well, the support's level disparity is going to become very apparent as the map will begin to kind of close in. As even Mousy under his own tower.
Oh, it's a little bit aggressive here, though. I don't know about this one. He has the Edict, 1 or 2 more right clicks, gets the double kill, but he is going to go down for a lot of money going to Solar Crest. He tips him, but to be fair, I got a double kill before that. I don't know, bro. I don't know about that tip. But it
So I
is
felt
still
an
a really
even
important
trade,
call.
but I think for Lesh's game, for Lesh's sake, that is brilliant. He's like, thank you guys. Thank you for coming to my lane, feeding. I needed that kill.
Gold
So I'm
exchange is
sure
actually a
he'll be
5,
happy enough.
like a 400 exchange at the end of that, so that is pretty sick. Kian is going to be in some trouble here. He does still have bar time, though, so... Okay, Sarah, he's still going to build towards that Radiance, but it's going to be... This is the thing, when you have those offlaners that require Radiance, it
Yeah.
does disable the offlaner from actually joining fights early to a certain extent. With how good a start Nagy has had, that feels dangerous.
It's not just Nagy, this Dark's here as well. He's on his way to Halberd. He's nearly got it. At 10 minutes, which is ridiculous. His farm has been excellent, and between the two of them, they should be shutting in this map. And having a Sven and an Abaddon trying to farm your jungle camps while there's all these 4 heroes running at you, it's gonna feel
Make
pretty
another go here,
claustrophobic.
out onto Solar Crest. There's 3 heroes on top of this time. He won't get it off this time. Gets off that
He's got a
screen.
blade mail.
Edict almost pops him down, but meanwhile, GDD also goes down to Maniac. So a really big rotation there from the side of Wongs. Gets 2 heroes very quickly. He does get the courier, but sometimes I get 20 quid at the end of the month for being shouted at by kids. It doesn't make my life good, right?
we'll take what we can get here.
That's it. That's it.
He's found this Sven. I don't think he can do much about his farming though. But yeah, the level disparity on the supports. Level 7 against level 4.
It's like, those tourists that go on safari. They just kind of watch the lion from afar. And they know they can't kill him, right? They're not going to wrestle this lion. But they're going to watch him and take his XP, to be fair, which
Take his
actually
XP.
isn't the worst thing in the world here. And these stacks as well, once again, being fully hunted by the side of Wongs. June's definitely in the back foot. They really need the 6 in their supports here. I think that is the hugely disparate factor of these fights. Like, on a silencer, on a clockwork, the difference these heroes can make when they get that 6 is so pivotal that I think they are just at a disadvantage until they get it.
I mean, you need it on the clockwork to pull off any plays, really. The silence will give you a safety net, but you need the clock to make your own plays. And I wonder if they will rotate up for the Sven at some point.
He's getting quite low here as well. The Leshrac, though, is also here, so this could be a bait. Kamki is nearby with the 6, with the song. They could try and make some setup here, but they're very disconnected from the rest of their team, so I don't know. This is the point at which they want to go. They have a smoke, they have dust on this clockwork. So if they spot that this is what Maniac is trying to do, if they've noticed those XP numbers, they could take him out here, but it seems they haven't. And now instead he's going to stay there. This is a fucking grief and a half. Just sitting there, getting the half XP. That is... Honestly, I rate this so heavily. What a shithead move. I love this coming out from Maniac. Some trouble here for the Sven, get hit up by the Naga, but just going to walk away on his level 8, which the Rookie is, of course, mirroring, having spent the last 2 minutes next to him.
I mean, his map is just so small because, look, Leshrac's farming jungle, Abaddon is farming the triangle. Like, there's nowhere for him to go. And unless your supports spend the money that they don't have on far too many sentries, they're not going to find this Rookie either.
Smoke spotted immediately. The Rookie's right behind them. He sees that effect. They are going to go for their own stacks, but it means that he's going to be very low. And I think the Rookie might be able to pop him at this distance. He needs to be really careful. They have the ward up as well, so they get full vision of what's going on. Maniac is dangerously close here. They do have the 6 on Silencer. No, that big Ancients clear mean that they do get the 6 on both supports. Oh no, not both supports, just the Silencer off the back of that. And he is still following him around this fucking map, but he is pinged out
Here
there.
comes
They do
Nagy.
know he's here. He's pinged. They know he's here. They drop off the damage onto him. Godsdrugg's driver does what he can to stop him, but in comes a Sonic Wave and it catches both of them. They kill Catalyst. Follow up now onto the Silencer. GDD doing what he can to stay alive, trying to break their ankles, but his ankles remain unfazed. They do lose Lunatic, aka Maniac, on the back of this, but they're more than happy with that, having taken out the Sven. Now here comes the Cavalry. Faith Kian on this Abaddon, ready to start running them down with the Leshrac behind as well. The Song of the Siren coming out from Kamki enables them to disengage. There is a TP ready on him if he wants it, but no hook shot. But there is a blink on the Leshrac, and the blink forward goes immediately onto this Naga, and down goes the Naga. It's a 2-for-1 at the end there, but having taken out the Sven, they're probably okay with that.
Yeah, kind of interesting engagement there. Sven, it felt like it wasn't really farming that quickly anyway, but killing him off is handy. Not quite quick enough on the silence there. When the quad blinked forward, but it's pretty much impossible to react to something like that. But yeah, this Ricky just causing all kinds of problems. Is it the best 4 at the moment for Invis running around causing mischief? I feel like I don't see many bounty hunters or Nyx at the moment.
Yeah, I think it makes sense as far as like in previous seasons, we saw Maniac play really, really well on Nyx in a number of games. And considering that hero has fallen out of favor, this feels like, quasi Nyx in a way.
Yeah, the
Perhaps
replacement.
that's why they like it, right? But so far going really well for Wongs, a 5k net worth lead at just 14 minutes. Those Wisdom Shrines have popped. They have managed to pick it up on their own sides. So very handy for them. Meanwhile, on the side of Joon's, it hasn't. Oh, it has been taken now. Excellent. Looks like this Leshrac going to sit in this mid lane, going towards that Sange, that Kaya Sange build. Going to tank up significantly, but of course, the main thing we're waiting for on the side of Joon's is this Radiance from Abaddon. And it just feels like it's so far away, and the greediness that it enables is going to make this game quite tough.
Yep, and the 3 Radiant cores at the moment, top of the net worth by a small margin. But
hang on. In comes Maniac, but immediately he's pulled out with the dust. Very, very nice here from Solar Crest. Looks like Maniac's going to go down immediately, so really a lot of gold going for that kill. Straight into the pocket of Solar Crest. A really important one to get. Nagy looks like he might want to do something here on the Quap. He's ready to go, but they have this level 7 now in the Clockworks. The hookshot's ready to go, and they choose not to do anything with that. But meanwhile, this entire time, this Terrorblade's been farming, so they ping him. Makes it look like they want to try and make a go onto Koro. Koro has a Manta fucking Falcon Blade finish already. Jump in onto Solar Crest. He goes way too aggressive. They throw the Global Silence. Will it be enough? It's doing a lot, but the enough is the question. And they use the shield there. Saves him. He does go down thereafter, but he takes out Nagy in the meantime. It's still a 2-for-1 in favor of the side of Wongs. Make that a 3-for-1. A lot of gold going into Koro's back pocket, giving some respite to the spend to be able to farm. But still not the trade you're looking for if you're the side of Joon squad.
No, I mean, Quap's kind of like, she's done her thing at this point. She's gotten the Terrorblade to this point. She's made the space in the early game, and now this Terrorblade is just going to be an absolute menace. They chose to, blow up the Quap there, and they have nothing left in the tank to deal with this Terrorblade. So, yeah, very, very tough start to this game for Joons, but like I say, this Abaddon, I'm sure he'll come into the game at some point once he's got this Radiance, but it's looking like a very, very slow process at the moment. So jump onto him.
Oh, jump in onto him. He does have that ult, so does manage to get it popped there. This is the thing I was saying earlier. While Faith Kiana is doing his best to keep up in this Abaddon, it just doesn't feel like a Faith Kiana hero to me, as someone who knows Kian more intimately than perhaps I would like to. My favorite boy.
I won't ask questions.
Well, we shared a room for many an evening in Athens when it was very warm. He has been topless in my apartment more times than I'm willing to admit, but I think that Joon Squad do best when he's on a playmaker hero, and I question the decision to put him into this kind of quasi-core role with a player like Catalyst who really does prefer that safe, standard farm style. To be honest, going forward, looking at this game, I really do think that they need to have a think about how Catalyst fits into this team roster, especially since he's played in it before. they may need to change their style to adjust the fact that he does do best when he is given the space to do best. And I think you quite well summed it up when you have a Leshrac, a Sven, and an Abaddon all looking for that farm at that same time. You're not going to get that best, are we?
No, and if you kind of compare it to the way Wongs are playing this game, they've got a Ricky running around, causing havoc. Quap is making plays whenever she can, especially in the early game with her ganks and her ult. And you've got these two farming heroes, which is fine if you have the map space to do it, which they've managed to attain for themselves. Meanwhile, their opponents are just crammed into this very small map, Sven farming the safest of camps while Abaddon takes the rest along with Leshrac. So tough game for them, but it's going to be about teamfight execution now. If they can maybe get a big pick off on this Terrorblade or this Quap again, try and kind of slow the game down a bit. But I don't think, are they interested in defending this tier 2? It's a big tower to lose.
They're 400 gold off the Radiance. I think that alone is going to give them seconds to pause. Of course, that Radiance going to somewhat be Pyrrhic for them insofar as it is going to be reflected by the Terrorblade with that illusion. But I still think that they simply don't have the damage until he has it. Solar Crest could be in some trouble here. There's a Watcher on that North camp. He's used his Blink. He's gone in onto this Quappy TP straight away, but it's not enough. Down he goes, and they tip him in very quick succession thereafter. Solar Crest really struggling on the Lesh this game.
Just unfortunate timing there. They both arrive at the creep wave at the same time, and there's only one winner of that fight when Quap has a Blade Mill and her ult available as well. So, oh, hang on. He's sniped it. He didn't buy it. But yeah, that would have been an absolute disaster. But.
Yeah, nice play there from Maniac to recognize that it's coming soon and to sit there being ready for it. He is going to have it very, very soon. Just one more creep is all he needs to get it. And I think this is kind of their go time. They're 9k now, down now. It's 20 minutes. If they don't go soon, this is just going to spiral to the extent with a TV.
If you compare the offlaners,
yeah,
Darkseer has an extra item. He's got a pipe, he's got a mech, he's got halberd.
And now they get the Tormentor for free.
Yep.
Some really nice shards here as well. You want that one on Camkey, and that's the one you get. The regen per second. It's a really nice shard to get picked up there.
Yeah, I wonder what. Oh, so Camkey going next for the Lotus Orb.
Jump in here onto Mousy on the clockwork, gets some nice cogs pushes there. He's walking him back towards him. They want to do something here. They're the blinking. Oh, the huge disconnect there. They missed the hook shot and the global silences after the blink and the god strength from the Sven. A disastrous execution there for the side of Joon squad. Really turns what could have been a really positive go into, quite frankly, nothing for them. And now it looks like Faith Kian's gonna be in some trouble getting hit up with those illusions. Pops the shield, but still has the Ricky next to him. He throws the blood grenade, which I think is a little, ambitious. And Faith Kian is able to walk away from that one. Yeah, it's...
Yeah, that looked like their chance there. But like you say, spells just off the mark. And they might pay with their tier 2 tower here.
Indeed, and look at these level differences. They're quite significant. You've level 15 already on core. Hang on, jump in now onto GDD. He does not have the global silence, so not as important as he previously would have been. But now the wall is popped. It's on top of Faith Kian. He's taking a lot of damage from his own illusion, and that illusion has the radiance as well. It is probably going to get popped to this tower, which is nice. So they do stem the bleeding somewhat, and that they only drop the kill in the silencer. But that's another tier 2 gone. They've got no tier 2s left. Meanwhile, Wongs are yet to lose a tier 1.
Yep. I'll tell you who has recovered well, though, is this Sven. With this time, although they kind of whiffed in the last team fight, he's getting back into it. Almost got his BKB, and, if he's able to couple up with his team well enough, they might be able to get at least one kind of good pick-off or team fight out of it. But now, yeah, the graph doesn't look pretty, and the Aegis to come on top of that as well, so... It's going to be a very, very tough hold for them.
Aegis on Quap or TB here?
I think Quap is the natural Aegis holder. Oh, they're actually going to put it on TB, even though he is, obviously, a morph hero.
You know, just because I know they're going to be watching this back later, and I know it's going to upset them. Wongs
Hmm.
really like playing this 4 protect 1 strat. I know right
Oh
now our
dear.
dearest
Oh
observer,
dear.
Anti is cringing on my behalf. Shake your mouse twice if yes, Anti. Good, good, good. I'm
Really
glad.
stirring the pot here.
No, it's a sensible move here. Obviously, you know, he doesn't have the same impact the Quap has, but he does have 14k net worth. So if he dies, it's a big fucking problem for them in terms of that network exchange that it represents. And when you're facing heroes like
Hmm.
Leshrac, you can always die as a TB. So I think it is the sensible move, especially without the BKB being present on him. Um, it seemed like the side of June's though, they've invaded their enemy jungle in response, which feels a little bit dangerous insofar as if they fuck this up, they could be in trouble. But hooray, hurrah, they've taken a tier 1 click.
Let's go. First tower for them. You know, it was going to come eventually, right? I mean, we all thought so. But I think they know that if they force them to TP back here, it's a win in their book. You know, they're going to be posturing up in the jungle, waiting to delve into this high ground. I think once this Terrorblade has his Metamorphosis come back up again, which it is in a few seconds, so they will be fully ready to go for it. But in the meantime, just trying to get what they can out of the map, our June squad.
Item pickup I want to mention here is the Ricky. He's finished up the Yule Scepter, which means the Abaddon ult's going to be far less effective. They're pummeling down this top tier 3. There's no response as of yet. They still have the Aegis and the TB, so the TB is not the target they want to be going on, but with the amount of damage just onto this tower,
Yeah, they got to
the
stop him.
time is in the thick. They need to do something. The time is now. They need to respond to this, but the range racks is falling very quickly. We're 24 minutes in, and a range rack has fallen, and more illusions are coming in from
Oh.
Kamki. They try to make a jump in, but Solarcrest in huge trouble. They pop the ult in the Sven. He jumps in onto the TB, but gets immediately hit up with that Yules. Nice use there from Mousy of the cogs, and the global silence means they do get the first life away from the TB, but they pop both the ulti of the Abaddon as well as the BKB from the Sven in order to do so, and the global silence, which leaves them with basically nothing left for this fight now on the Aftermath.
Yeah, they had no Metamorphosis available though for the Terrorblade, at least for another minute, so I think they may have be able to hold this melee racked for a little while longer. But yeah, nice use of the global, able to take him down the once. It's going to be very hard to hold once this ult comes back up though.
Indeed, looks like Solarcrest trying to make it go there onto the Ricky, but instead jumps in Nagi, huge amount of damage to Drugster Driver, but he's being followed up with damage as well. Has that Blade Mail though, with that inherent lifesteal means that he is not in trouble whatsoever. Now instead, Solarcrest put onto the cliff, trying to TP away, but hit with that Yules from the Ricky means that he's going nowhere here. He might take out the Ricky with the Edict, potentially. No, the Ancient Creeps are splitting the load, so the Ricky actually even lives, and Solarcrest dies without getting anything in exchange. Looking incredibly rough right now for the side of June squad. It's a 16k net worth lead at just 26 minutes click. They're pushing in this tier 3 tower. The response hasn't been there yet, and there's 23 seconds left on this Leshrac. Another tier 3 tower goes down.
Yeah, they got
Pummeled.
nothing.
Yeah.
They got absolutely nothing left at this point. Sven ult has come back up, but I don't know what you can do here. Terrorblade is just so strong.
Indeed, they take out that first melee racks, and now the second one looks like it's going to go down immediately thereafter, and indeed it does. Only one lane of racks left for the side of June squad, and Gauzdrug's driver goes down to illusions. They jump in onto the Naga, but is the Naga the target you want? They do take her out, but what do you do thereafter? They jump in with a clockwork, a lot of damage, global silence, but with that Manta, does not care whatsoever. Solarcrest staying alive thanks to the Grimmack, but a huge vacuum wall coming out from Shirks. They do manage to take out the TB, but at what cost? They're still on top of him. They've still got Shirks here. They've still got the wall. They take down the Abaddon, buy back from the Clockwork, buy back from the Silencer. It's not enough, and they go into this bottom lane. Two more buybacks come out. It's a buyback fiesta. They need to win this fight, and it looks like Wongs might just choose to do the shepherd's approach, make like a sheep, get the flock out of there. Nothing gained. in response. They do have the hook shot in 20 seconds, but it's not fast enough. And instead, Solar Crest is the one who needs to be dangerous. He's gone in on by Nagi. Nagi dodges it with the illusion rune. Like with the Manta. Holy moly. The fast fingers. Incredibly impressive. They do throw out that vacuum wall, but that might be just baiting them into a false sense of security. Solar Crest very low, but healed up by Faith Kian. A lot of damage coming out from this Radiance, from this big Abaddon. They will take out the Ricky, but that's all they get.
Yeah, I mean, if they didn't expend the buybacks, they could be prone to losing another set there. So they had to use them, unfortunately. But Terrorblade holds on to his. Didn't get hot fingers wanting to press that buyback button to try and press the issue. But yeah, Joon squad there using a lot of their what is a very painful net worth to use just to hold. But they do get a Terrorblade though, big kill. That's something they got out of it. I don't think it's going to be enough though.
It's like, you stand on a brick of Lego, it goes through your entire foot, but at least you have a nice red spot. It's one of those things where it's like, I got something. It's not great,
off.
but hey, look at this. Look at this cool red spot on my foot.
Yeah, somebody prepared to see it. Yeah.
I think looking at this, I'm going to reiterate what I said earlier. I just do think that what you said throughout this game is just entirely true, which is that it was too greedy a lineup without the ability to make those greedy cores work. The Abaddon spent so much time farming that Faith Kian, who I believe, with the exception of Solar Crest, is the highest MMR player on the team. The Abaddon has felt almost like a support this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite easy, to be fair, to blame the draft. I think a couple of misplays by the Lesh in the lane against this Quap cost his game a lot as well in the early game, and not being able to make his side lane moves the way the Quap was either. I don't want to say it's like a mid-diff, but I think Nagi's just played exceptionally well on this Quap, able to get a lot done for his team and close in that map with the Darkseer, who also had a good lane. So
speaking of that, Blink is ready. Godsnark's driver does use the Tumbler's Story to go up that hill. A nice escape there in the end for him. Very close to level 18 on the Sven. Might want to wait for that with the bonus damage and the bonus cooldown he gets from it. But the side of Wongs are knocking on the door. Faith Kian comes in with this Abaddon. He's built a Blink Dagger now. Meanwhile, Nagi, though, does manage to pop down GDD Diddles, God's drunkest driver, hits the floor on the silencer. And he has no buyback.
Oh,
and now huge vacuum wall hits on 3, but there's, that's like when you get the Tidehunter Ravage on 5, but nobody's there.
Yeah, there's no follow up. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm here. I did. Oh shit. Yeah. It's a birthday party and nobody showed up, right?
Just being on this tower, they're gonna lose this set. No silencer either to hold.
Seems
They'll
like
have to
it.
Man up.
They popped the glyph as well. 20 seconds until the silencer joins. Obviously, silencer respawning can immediately global silence. So less bad of a hero to have on cooldown than others. But still, these towers being made
Coral wants to go.
Of, and Coral takes out the last tier 3.
Yep, and Roshan will be the next objective. It's up in the bottom pit now. I imagine it would go back on Coral so he can frontline and get this last set of racks. The question is, do Joons try and prevent this Aegis for going on him? Because I feel like if he gets it, the game is just over. I think they may have to make a play here. Even if it doesn't work out, it wasn't going to work out anyway. But looks like they're hugging their high ground regardless.
Indeed, the Aegis, it has roared. They are aware this is happening. They do smoke up a Mousy. Are they going to do the one-man army thing? No, they're not. They're going for one last big play. All 5 of them smoked. This is their moment. This is their moment. If they pull this off, it's very, very close. Not long at all, but in comes the Rocket Flare. They know how low it is. But it's blocked by Kampi. Huge play there for the Naga Siren. Stops that play in its tracks. And now they're splitting this fight with the Song of the Siren. Global popped by Godsdruck's driver, but it's during the Song of the Siren, so it gets very little done. Incredible play there for Naga. Look at that wall! Vacuum follow-up coming in from this Darkseer. Sonic Wave in the back of it. Down goes the Silencer. Down goes the Sven. GG call by Catalyst. First game going into the back pocket of Wong's Bakery.
Wow. I mean, that was the best executed team fight we've seen all game. And it was a very decisive victory, but what a block there from Kamki on this Naga Siren. Just understood that the biggest threat to their Aegis was this clockwork and able to get a block there. Yeah, he had an illusion up as well, just beside him, just to add an extra kind of bollard to stop him getting in the pit. But yeah, a lovely back wall to follow up there, and overall just a solid game plan that was executed exceptionally well. So deserved winners here. But I'm interested to see how Junes decide to kind of change potentially their draft after this one.
Indeed, folks, we're going to take a little short break while the teams take a little smoke break. Stop, think about their actions, think what they can do differently. Game 1, a very decisive win for Wongs. Another loss for the Joon squad. Let's see if they can pick it up in just a few minutes. I'm Rontel alongside Click and our handsome observer, Mr. Anti. We'll see you in just a few. Catch you soon, folks.
Yeah, let's go. I ain't the first with the curse, with the thirst that I wanna be better, not worse, when it hurts. I'm on this earth with my words, and I put them all together in a surf, cause I wanna have worth. Working hella hard till they put me in the dirt. Gonna go far, man, listen to my words. Gonna be a star, man, life's like a blur. When you're working this hard, yeah, you get what you deserve. Yeah, I ain't taking a backseat, I'm passing. Anybody else who is rapping, I'm nasty. Ain't nobody able to catch me, they gasping. They cannot compare, they can't match me, I'm at half speed. I got your girl and she laughing and dancing, hanging on my butt, she asking to crash with me. Smash with me, she savage, she wants cash money, and she knows that I live lavishly. I wanna live, I'm cold inside. Give all I have just to feel alive. I fight to live, I fight to strive. One day I'll have what I want. I want the whole world in the palm of my hand. I got a plan, I'm the man. Now I'm teaching the game, a veteran, better than anybody else who tests me. I'm ready, looking in my hand and it's steady. I'm trending, ascending and blending, lyrical bending. Now I'm spreading and getting my name out now. Yeah, they hearing me laugh. All the crowds repping the sound. I'm hitting the ground, running, up and coming. Ain't nothing, yeah, rookie of the year. I'ma keep it 100, cold-blooded, no budget. From nothing to something, I ain't bluffing. I got a full hand and a full plan. I ain't gonna stop till I'm at the top, man. Every single drop got me feeling awesome. I'm about to pop, started from the bottom, man. I wanna live, I'm cold inside. Give all I have just to feel alive. I fight to live, I fight to strive. One day I'll have what I want in life. Watch out, cause I'm here now and I'm staying. Claws out, this the fight that I've been craving. I know there's something inside of me, but it's been masked by fear and anxiety. But no more, I'ma break out of the chains. Let's go! I'm waking up, this ain't enough. All of my dreams were starting to rust, but I believe that I can adjust. Positive thoughts, I'm starting to trust. Nothing's deserved unless you work. Something of worth requires an urge. I have been hurt by those at their worst, but that can will the power of surge. Filled with demons and hunger. I am the thunder, I command the masses in numbers. Look at the fear in your eyes. This is what happens when you are surprised. It's time to meet your demise. Just call me Zeus and look to the sky. Everything's amplified, no they cannot deny. I will be rectified if you that sacrifice. Scars that you left behind, injuries that define me to my core. They'll hear me roar like never before. The pain I absorb is feeding my core. I'm hard to ignore, I'll beat down your door. If you wanted war, well then you got war. Yeah. I wanna build a life worth living. I wanna be rich, cause I wanna be given. I feel the time keeps ticking. I wish I had more, but I take my skipping. I just wanna be, cause I've been looked in a lot. I think I deserve a shot, I think I deserve a spot. Cause it's the millions on this path that I walk. And if I keep going, I pray I'll be at the top. When I dream big, yeah I commit. Wanted this life since I was a little kid. Never thought twice, I just did what I did. Worked towards it and now I have an addiction. I've been living life like a dream, like it's fiction. I've been doing things like I have no restrictions. I don't plan to stop, no I don't plan on quitting. Everything I do, yeah I do it with conviction. I will never give up, I will never give in. Everything I do, yeah I do it with conviction. I've been on a mission, I ain't never quitting. Everything I do, yeah I do it with conviction. I believe in free will, I make choices that lead me to I will never give up, I will never give in. Everything I do, yeah I do it with conviction. I need to test out my limits, like I've been sending to Guinness. I'm breaking records, I'm finished, I feel like I keep on winning. If I don't stop once a minute, I'm moving forward, I mentioned. But this is just the beginning, I've learned a lot of lessons, I've had a lot of blessings. My friends know I'm obsessive, they be chilling, I be stressing. But I don't second guess it, I'm loving every second. I see my life progressing, so I spend time investing. When I dream big, yeah I commit. Wanted this life since I was a little kid. Never thought twice, I just did what I did. Now I have an addiction. I've been living life like a dream, like a fiction. I've been doing things like I have no restrictions. I don't plan to stop, no I don't plan on quitting. Everything I do, yeah I do it with conviction. I will never give up, I will never give in. Everything I do, yeah I do it with conviction. I've been on a mission, I ain't never quitting. Everything I do, yeah I do it with conviction. I believe in free will, I make choices that lead to what I build. I will never give up, I will never give in. Everything I do, yeah I do it with conviction. Let's go. Time to grind. Get inside your mind. Yeah, we working overtime. That's the only way to climb. We gon' make it in our prime. Signing on the dotted line. Cashing checks left and right. That's the way I'm living life. I feel alive when I got a goal in sight. Chip away, I gotta fight. Ain't nobody else in sight. And I think I see the light. Yeah, that shit is so bright. Follow me, I got the guide. See you on the other side, son. Nobody know what I've been through. Ain't nobody know what I can do. I'm rest. They get upset when they try and just to rest. And I'm still right at my desk, make them all feel so pressed. Yeah, but that's the test. If you wanna be the best, it ain't easy, it's a mess. If you wanna have success, you keep going like possessed. Drive it deep into your chest. Every failure is a test. Learn the most, leave the rest. Happen to good people. None of us were ever really born equal. Only one life, there ain't no sequel. Some people live, others stay fearful.
Ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between, we are live with Game 2 of Wong's Bakery versus the Joon squad. Game 1, a decisive victory for Wong's Bakery, one they really needed after the 2-0 last night. Perhaps an unorthodox, potentially greedy strategy from Joon squad going for a try-farming core that Wongs took advantage of and managed to get a very quick 27-minute victory off the back of. Let's see if Joon squad can adapt their strategy and do things a little bit differently this game. I'm Ron and Tell, taking you through this one with the ever so handsome, ever so Scottish Click. How we doing?
Yeah, not bad. I got my Scotland jersey on tonight. I don't think there are any Scottish players in here, so I have no bias. I'm not rooting for anyone in particular. I'm just rooting for good Dota. And game 1, I would say overall, kind of disappointed. I'm not going to lie. I want to see a bit more of a fight from Joon squad in particular, as they were just completely shut out of that last game. And Wongs, like you say, just took advantage of the tri-core, trying to farm it up. So yeah, we'll see how they adapt their draft, and if they can bounce back like Wongs have from last night.
Well, I'm happy to wear the true Irish jersey because my taxes pay for this stupid esports company to exist. Imprint Esports, check it out, boys. Let's get into this draft. Okay, so looking at what we've got so far from June's and from Wong's. June's go for an identical set of bans with the exception of a change for the Quap instead of... Is it the Shaman? Oh, the Undie. There it is. That's the difference.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, grab it straight away. I'm not surprised, to be fair. Another lane dominator, and can be played in multiple roles. You can even slap it in the mid lane if nothing looks better. But usually going to be played on the 5 or the 3. And is there anyone in particular who does play this on Wongs? Oh, wow, they actually snatched the Timber.
This I like. So allow me to explain this Timber pick. It has 3 purposes. 1, Shirks doesn't get Timber. They don't need to put a ban on it. 2, they play it mid on Solar Crest. 3, they play it offlane on Faith Kian. That's why they picked this here.
I would say 4, it does not care about Undying.
True.
It's not going to be killing the Tombstone, but if this becomes a beefy boy Undying, well, as long as your Timber Cell's got a couple of points in his queue, he's going to be just fine. So, yeah, looks like a valuable pickup. Maybe they did that on purpose, knowing that Wongs would pick up the Undying with the Quap being banned out, and decided it would be easier to play this way. So yeah, rather interesting.
They ban out the Jackro. Jackro is a huge thorn in the side of 5 and 4 Undyings, insofar as that double hit passive means that your tombstone goes down really quickly. So that's an interesting ban out. God's Drunkest Driver, Mr. Diddles, is a snap player. That is still something they could go for in terms of killing this tombstone. Sniper banned out as well from the side of Wongs. That is a Solar Crest special, one that he has played in previous seasons to quite high avail. This level of banning around the Undying makes me think it might not be a 5-click.
Yeah, maybe not, but I wonder if they, like you say, just want to pick up the snap here just to really punish him now. You know, this is the kind of hero where if he gets a free game, he can just run all over you. So having as much as you can in his way. Oh wow, okay.
Catalyst Shadow
Is this a
Fiend
flex
picked up
pick?
next. I don't
Oh,
think
okay,
so.
so +1.
I think it's almost certainly pause one. I haven't seen Solar Crest play this. Maybe he's been practicing in games where I haven't seen him. He has many accounts, but the Shadow Fiend is not a hero that I would traditionally associate him with.
I wonder as well, Undying +5 with a +1 Shadow Fiend. Good lane. Potentially another deny pick. So oh, we don't see this hero too much anymore. I think his passive just isn't as good as it always has been. Certainly pickable, but not the best win rate hero. You think this would be a core or just is it played on +4?
So it's interesting insofar as, you know, Maniac is quite a decent pool. I have never seen him play Monkey, but in this game, yeah, that's what I thought. I've never seen him play Monkey. I think this, if anything, could be a mid Monkey King. I've seen Nagi's the only player in Wongs that I've seen play this hero. I don't doubt that Coral plays it also. It's just something I haven't seen before. Shadow Shaman's allowed to as well. So they get the two most meta supports arguably in the pool. And the Shaman and the Undying for the side of Wongs would probably be happy with that. Let's see if they follow up with the snap here. I could also, you know, potentially see something like one of the other meta supports that's left in the pool here. Maybe the Ringmaster could come out here. Maybe the Disro that's looked very good in previous games, really nice into Shaman. They're gonna
Wind
need to go
Ranger.
something big here. Wind Ranger also available. Nice to kill the Tombstone. And they take the Marcy. The Mousy special. That isn't the kill the Tombstone.
Well, certainly, yeah, it's good for killing Tombstone. It's going to be that tanky lane partner, but I wonder which role they want to put this Timber in now, because if this is a Coral mid-monkey, do you really want to lane your Timber into it? I think it might be a bit of an easy lane for the Monkey. Not in terms of, I don't think he's going to absolutely stomp him, but it might just give Monkey what he needs out of the lane to then go and make his movements around the map.
There's the
So,
Windy
oh,
pick.
there's the
Good
wind.
call. That's a 5 Windy. I'll call it all day long. God's Drunkest Driver, very experienced Wind Raider player, a hero he really likes to play. Knowing these boys as well as I do, Solarcrest would never draft his own hero first. I love that man. Solarcrest, I love you. I'm sorry I puked on your floor in Liverpool. Don't worry about it, chat. But he would never draft himself his own hero first. I think it's almost definitely a 3 Timber. Definitely a 5 Windy. That's Mr. Diddle. Oh, a 4 Windy. That's Mr. Diddle's all day long. It's probably a 5 Marcy because, you know, Mousy hasn't even in that 5 position this league. So I think it's probably a Marcy Shadow Fiend with a Wind Rider Timber.
Yeah, that's a good pairing actually on both of the lanes. I like that a lot. Timber and Wind also have ways of getting away from it Undy if it is 5, or is we're just expecting it to be a Shadow Shaman 5? Not so sure on that yet. Maybe still flexing.
There's the Shirk's Axe.
Another. So they've got 3 really strong meta heroes. The question is, are they any good against these heroes? SF pause 1 into Axe, lane wise, I think he's going to do fine with the Marcy. To be honest, I don't think you should have too many problems in lane. Later into the game, Axe doesn't really do much against the Timber, but he does against the SF, especially the physical damage build. Will reflect a lot onto himself. But if you can get the lifesteal from this Marcy and the save as well, you know, I think it should be okay. But Axe, another one of these meta heroes that they've gotten three of the best really.
They picked the axe
And a
yesterday as well. On
good blade
Shirk.
mail carrier.
Very good blade mail carrier. They picked the axe yesterday onto Shirks. It did not have the lane it perhaps wanted to have, and the follow up wasn't ideal. I think Taylor will forever remember the blink call into creep wave moment that happened about minute 25 yesterday. Um, I'm interested to see what the Nagi hero is, or more likely the Coral hero. I'm still not fully sold on the fact this is a one monkey. I'm the more I think about it, the more it makes sense for it to be mid. But as a hero that's not traditionally mid, it's strange. But they ban out the Death Prophet, which leads me to think it might be, right?
Well, Jin Squad actually banning out Puck though. So I mean, I would say though, Puck is quite good against most of these heroes on June Squad. Marcy and Wind, they want to move around, cast their spells. Puck just kind of, doesn't really allow that. And the Ursa, so yeah, they don't know what role this Monkey King is in yet. But I think if they think it's Timber mid, I think you're quite happy playing MK there.
I don't
We'll
think
see
it's Timber mid. I just don't see Solarcrest picking his own hero first. It's just not his vibe.
I mean, you're gonna look bad. You're gonna look bad in front of him if you're wrong.
I know,
here.
I know.
He's putting you're really putting your neck on the line here.
I am, and as I said, I made a mess of this man's house. I gotta be nice here, but I've just never seen him do it before in all my time watching June Squad. And when Nagi being as good as he is, Nagi Invoker, it is a one monkey.
Yeah.
Definitely not a mid
Decent
timber
invoke
now,
again.
right?
I hope not.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I hope not. I think Invoker has a very fine lane there against Timber, so yeah, we'll see. I mean, looking back now, what do they have left in the pool actually? There's Kunkka.
Ember Spirit, Void Spirit is what I'm thinking right now.
I mean, of course, they do have a decent amount of lockdown between the Shaman and the Axe that you need to watch out for, but I wouldn't say they're on, like, the spirits are very much pickable here. There's no Ricky this time around. I mean, personally, I would like to see the Kunkka
I would too.
if he plays it.
Yeah, he does, just not super commonly. It's much more of a Faith Kian hero, in which case they mid timber into Invoker just feels impossible, right? Like past level 4. He has the urn, he has the
Yeah,
code.
it gets kited. It's same
Yeah.
with like a Tiny. It just gets too kited in this game, I think. There's a lot of slows, a lot of stuns that you have to deal with. So either something you want to pick something here that either doesn't care about these stuns and slows, or a hero which won't get caught by them. So it could be a spirit hero.
I wouldn't be surprised to see it. He is a very competent Ember player. Other heroes that he plays that are still in the pool, looking at what he's played in previous seasons, the Lina is still available. I wouldn't mind seeing a Lina with this lineup.
It's okay. I think maybe a little bit greedy. It's good against the Undying, obviously, and can nuke down Monkey King. But I think with his team, it might be a little bit. It might take a little bit too long, just like the issue that they had last game.
It's a Pangolier. Okay, Solarcrest and Faith Kian both play this, but Faith Kian going the Timber, Solarcrest going on the Pangolier. To be fair, not much answer into the Pango here.
Yeah, again, Pango, this is a hero that doesn't care about any of these stuns, doesn't care about Wukong's command. Should be fine. Should be fine overall in this game. I think it kind of ties their team together nicely, gives a bit more lockdown to kind of go in with this Marcy and Timber and kind of fuck shit up. Hopefully he's able to run around and do a lot while this SF, which it's not a slow hero by any means, but he does need that farming period before he comes out the jungle and begins to smack Roche in your towers. So yeah, nice pickup. I think their draft is better than their draft last game. Who have we got as favorites going in though?
I think on paper, you've got to look at the fact that you've got, a Maniac Shaman. You've got a Camp Undying. you've got a Shirk's Axe, you've got a Nagi Invoker. These are all of their comfort heroes, which makes me want to say Wongs. And my brain is telling me
Yeah,
one thing, like, but my
yeah,
heart is saying
of
1-1.
course.
Let's go, June Squad.
Let's go June Squad. Okay, big up June Squad. We're gonna all in on them. Like I said, I think their draft is better than they had last game. So come on, let's bring it on. I think they also have good picks, and if they're able to kind of pull it together, they'll get a win on the board. So yeah, let's go. Oh, massive Serpent Ward. Love to see it.
Yeah. It's at this point it seems to be the preference for a lot of players, especially with the lockdown that Axe provides and the Monkey provides. It does make sense in this instance. I want to point out one thing before we begin, which is a first-time chatter, Maestro, the Skyrath mage enthusiast from Central Iceport says, excited to see Wongs do something other than hug each other on their side of the map. So some shade coming out in the chat, Mr. Click.
Whoa.
Oh, ho,
Oh dear.
ho.
Oh dear.
Oh
You know,
dear.
it's all boiling over in Div1, isn't it? I mean, it's much more fun in Div2, guys.
It is. It
No,
is.
it's good to see though. We like to see the rivalries, and this game though, this will get this will. I think it will ensure Wongs will be upper bracket
Second.
slot 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what they'll be going for.
I gotta say, we gotta get some more serious beefs going in Div 2, though. Like, I think the next time we need to play each other, we should just, open the
Yeah.
slur in all chat. It just needs to happen, right? Like, it's the only way we can make the games as spicy as these Div ones.
I mean, if you say so, I don't know if I'm quite on board for. I don't want to get banned on Dota. Maybe the DMs. You might see me sliding in there for all the wrong
Okay,
reasons.
sweet. I'm looking forward to it. I await it with bated breath. Like, just
Excellent.
as the side of June Squad await the Wongs with bated breath, but there is nobody to join them. They are smoking under a bridge on their own, cosplaying as Timothy Chalamet, sitting at a cafe, waiting for a girl to show up, but there's no one there, so they just have a sore throat and they're drinking a coffee they don't really like.
It's just a 2025 dating Tinder moment. Yeah,
Are you
I
a
think
single man, Click? Is this your experience? Have you been through this?
I'm not a single man. Not a single man.
Nor am I. Nor am I.
As previously discussed, my girlfriend has a massive crush on you, so I
Oh,
told
I
her that she
forgot about
can't
that.
listen. She can't listen to the cast while you're talking. Only when I'm talking.
I forgot about that. Maybe you'll appear more attractive because you're talking with me, though. I'm hoping that will be the case. That I can.
Oh, is that
I
how it
can.
works? She's gonna be starstruck.
Yeah. I'm gonna be like, oh, your boyfriend's so hot, bro.
Oh
This is
dear.
for the inside baseball. The first message I ever got from Click on Discord was, "Hey man, thanks to the cast. My girlfriend, I think it was a cast of me and Taylor. You guys are so charismatic that my girlfriend said she's going to start listening to Dota 2 because of you two. Please don't steal my girlfriend." Was something along those lines, I believe.
Yeah, it's something like that. I think you offered your girlfriend in exchange though, so.
I would never do that. She's a great girl.
I don't know. I got the message right here.
Let's go back into the game. So, looks like there's a right clicks on Shadow Shaman. Wow.
Indeed. Big
Let's get
harass.
back in. So, looking at this bottom lane, you have the Wind Ranger and the Timber into the Undying plus Monkey. Do you think the Undying can secure this lane, or with the Windy, with the Timber, is it difficult for him?
He can't do much at this level. It's going to be a matter of time, I think. Who can get a level advantage is the big question here. I think Wind does a lot in this lane. Like, it's ideal support to be matched up against an Undying. You've got the movement speed to get away from him, obviously, and also the long range right clicks to take down that tombstone when he does get it. And he's taking a bit of harass himself there. Takes it away from the Monkey King at least.
Indeed, but so far, as last game, although it being quite close, the last hits and deny is definitely favoring the side of Wong. So solid lanes coming out once again. Still very close, still very early. Pause and Catalyst for a reconnect. Let's discuss this mid lane for a moment. So we have the Pango into the Invoker. On paper, it should be a bit of a resonant snoozer lane until 6, right?
I think, it's pretty snoozy unless they try something on a rune or someone goes for a crazy dive. The other option is bringing one of these supports in, maybe the Shaman or the Wind, or even Marcy to, big win probability in Wongs' favor already, but yeah, you got to bring a support here. I think if you want to try and get a kill, it might be on a rune. I mean, Invoker doesn't care so much for getting them himself, but Pangolier does. So we may see something going on there. But there's a wait, he's switching accounts.
No, so that's Lunatic. That's Maniac who's trying to throw some shade at Dara real quick. And then
Oh, okay, I see.
God's drunkest driver just decided to fuck with him by responding that Axe is short slang for accounts. This is the thing with GDG, Mr. Diddles. Like, no matter how he plays, you cannot outflame this guy. He is the king. Like, this guy, I've played countless games with. I've tried, like, there's moments where he's angry at me, and I try to clap back. You just can't. He's too nonsense. I've known him for 16 years.
In the craft, yeah.
This guy, for the Irish viewers at home, this guy, he's half Pakistani. He grew up in Letterkenny and then moved to Dublin with a half Pakistani, half Letterkenny accent. If you can combine Mousy with a Letterkenny accent, that was God's drunkest driver's accent when he first came to Dublin. If he can survive, secondary school at that, there's no insult that can touch this man.
Hey, listen, I don't know what you just said, to be honest. I'm not informed enough about the ins and outs of the Irish accent, but I'm sure he is a tough bloke.
He's a very tough bloke with very large pecs. What can I say? He's into the crows.
Wow.
Let's get back into this game anyway. So far, looking pretty even across all the lanes. The Pangolier taking a slight lead in the mid, but not by much. The Coral Monkey having a really good start. Look at this top lane. Go in here onto Mousy, taking out that Battle Hunger. Not much thereafter, though. A little bit of an Ether Shock is all she wrote. A much nicer start to the game for the side of Joon's than last game, right?
Yeah, so far they're just about keeping up. They'll be happy enough. No kills yet either. Kamke has been taking a bit of a beating, but Coral's sitting pretty happy, so no complaints from him, I'm sure. But
yeah, I think the big
might be a
difference
fight for this. Yeah, the Lotus there might be a fight, but other than that,
potentially still need level 2 on the Undying, though, and very far off that 3. It feels like I don't know if they can contest this if they go for it. Top lane, also a fight for the Lotus. Seems like they're not going to contest on June's. Doesn't feel worth it. On the other side of the map, they also, I think, take the Lotus on the Undying. So double Lotuses going into the back pocket of Wongs.
Yep. Sorry, I don't have a double 3-minute Lotus stat for you.
Partial use of the Twin Gate there by the Marcy. Looked like he was going to go through it and try to contest that Undying, but decided against it at the last minute.
Yeah, but maybe that just... He's just showing a bit more of a heads-up play, a bit more proactive this time around. Obviously, last game the supports fell behind in XP, so trying to get something done, I think.
Yeah, and I think he might need to. Only level 2 versus the level 3 on the Shaman. Throws him back here. Could be some raises coming out here. They popped him here on the Shadow Fiend. He drops off though, but in comes the big, Sunstrike. Can he kill him? He pops up the follow-up from Mousy as well. First Blood goes onto the side of the Wongs Baker with Shirks picking it up. Can they get the last right click onto the Shaman? No! The deny coming out from Shirks. And now the Shadow Fiend first to turn tail and run. No mana for that third raise. So a really big play there from the side of Wongs. Gets themselves the first blood and gets the deny on the Shaman.
Yeah, so Axe has gone for the Urn build with a double, 2 points in Battle Hunger. Makes your laning stage against, anyone who's trying to brawl you, makes you very, very strong. Obviously, you're going to miss out on, points in Counter Helix and Call, but, 2 points in Battle Hunger can be quite brutal to play against.
We're seeing that here with, Catalyst doing his best to keep up, but looking a little bit rough now. A bit of a HP differential, but he does have a level on top of the Axe. Maybe because his support is dead, but still a nice thing to have with that little bit of a level advantage. That extra level 2 in raise could make the difference here. Meanwhile, Solar Crest drags the wave away from the Invoker towards this camp. So I'll get some efficient farming done here in the Pangolier. Really nice start to the game for Solar Crest compared to the last game, despite the 10 denies on this Monkey in the safe lane. The mid is looking very different to last game.
Yeah, he's done very well so far. He needs to be the one this game that is getting stuff done early. The Invoker, especially with the Sunstrike build, is less likely to be moving between the lanes. Pangolier, he needs to get his 6, which he's got, and he's heading already to the bottom lane.
Indeed, down he goes with the right clicks on Kamki. He does manage to drop down that big tombstone, but the follow-up of the Pangolier. But he does have that Jingu. He mans up onto God's Drunkest Driver, takes him out, can get the follow-up here from the Timbersaw. He might go down as well. This big, tombstone doing a lot. Tombstone does eventually pop, but he has the Jingu back of the Monkey, so they trade out supports with the mid-rotation. Not necessarily worth it for the side of June's.
Yeah, that tombstone just staying up for a bit too long there. Did a lot in that fight. And Monkey able to survive as well is massive for that gank. Oh.
Meanwhile, top lane looks like a go up here potentially. On to Faith Kian in the bottom lane. One right click's always going to need. Does get off the Timber Chain in time. So nice steal there of the Lotus. Keeps him alive. Use of the Shackles out, but this Axe is low. I don't know if this is the play you want to make. It goes for the power shot. Doesn't connect, but this Shaman is surely going down to this Shadow Fiend. So a nice kill there to pull off in that top lane right before those 7-minute runes.
Yeah, nicely played there. Kill going to the SF as well, so that's helped him a bit. He's been kind of going even in lane with Shirks, but he needs to get as much as he can out of this lane, and not fall behind, so he can kind of keep up with this Monkey King, who has had a good lane so far.
Indeed, looks like the Undying is going to try contest the 7-minute rune, and Faith Kian is choosing not to do so. Meanwhile, this bottom rune, they kill Mousy, and they get double wisdoms on the side of Wongs. A huge play there.
Yeah, that's tough to... Oh.
Meanwhile, mid lane, looks like a bit of trouble here for Solar Crest. He does pop off that jump, which does keep him alive here, but a nice kind of stream of plays there for the side of Wongs, taking a little bit of an advantage off the back of those last 2 plays.
Yeah, Undying, like I was saying, dropping that tombstone, not letting this Timber even try and contest, and then also getting the kill onto the Marcy on the top wisdom and securing their own. So yeah, a nice swing for them, but has to be said though, like you say, this Pango having a much better game this time around. Question is, can he kind of convert that into some kills onto cores this time? Because it's only the Shaman who's Shaman and Undying who have gone down so far.
On paper, this Pangolier is one of the highest MMR players in the league, but he did switch positions to play for this June squad stack. He is historically a 4 that moved into mid, but he's playing it a while now. Hang on, move on bottom lane. Faith Kian in some trouble. Hit up with that big old Jingu. Follow up there as well with the Boundless Strike. He has a Timber Chain to use to try to get away from this. Nobody cameo top lane though. Tatalis does go down to Nagi. Rotation is successful, but Mousy's here with the Marcy. Looks like they're going to take out that Shaman again, but he drops the Mouse similar force, which means that Marcy is now dead as well. God's Drunkest Driver on this little tiny Windy tries to drop off that power shot, but it does nothing, and Shirks kills him as well. It's a 4-for-0 across the map.
It's going to be the tower. I think Pango wants to head up to try and stop it, but I don't know if he's going to get there in time. TPing in on Catalyst as well.
Might get a kill at least. Catalyst does come in. He has the roll. He hits up onto this Axe. Here comes the double jump. That is a dead Axe immediately. A very important kill for them to pick up here. But that is all they're going to get from this roll and from this DD. So even then, not ideal circumstance.
Yeah, dropping the Serpent Ward there in range off the tower, as well as doing so much in that fight, was massive. And Nagi is also going to clean up this mid tower by the looks of things. So yeah, tough start. And even as Timbersaw, we thought we'd have a better time. Coral is level 8 against Faith Kian on this Timber level 5. So he's had a brilliant lane, has Coral. Oh.
I think it's worth mentioning as well. Hang on, stop here for a moment. In comes the Hex with the follow-up Shackles on top of the Marcy. They have as well this Sunstrike. The right clicks with the follow-up of that Battle Hunger, enough to take down Mousy, who, once again, we mentioned the double the double Wisdom steal. The supports on the side of June's are level 4, whereas on the side of Wong's, they're 6-7 almost.
Yeah, another tough game for him, honestly. And like I say, this Invoker is just sitting in his lane, chilling out. He didn't quite finish off the tower, but has been farming up a Storm. As has Pango, who, again, he has to rotate to actually help his team. But look at these supports; they're so active, trying to find.
And they're higher level than the Timbersaw. Yeah, on these supports.
Yeah, they want him.
Faith Kian could be in some trouble here. Very low net worth compared to the cores. hasn't really had a chance to get into this game, and now the two supports are going to be on top of him. The Boundless Strike does not connect, and Gosling Strike is here, but the Pangolier is here to connect in onto Coral on this Monkey. Looks like the first one to fall will be Lunatic, aka Maniac, on the Shaman. Follow up onto the Monkey. Can they take him down? They're going to need to, but in comes the Evoker. Triple use of that Tornado on top of him with the follow-up of that big Tombstone. They do manage to kill it quite quickly. Can they get the follow-up? Yes, they can. Double kill for Thaikian, rocketing himself up these networks. A really good fight so far for Joons. They do stay alive on this Windy. The Monkey is potentially looking to re-engage here with the respawns, but Joons successfully get out of this one. It's a 5 versus 4, and they take advantage of those numbers to take a fight in their favor. But hang on.
Oh.
Sunstrike.
The Sunstrike? Wow. Well played. Yeah, despite having the level disadvantage, you still managed to get a couple of kills out of it. And on the Timbersaw as well, so that's kind of helped this game a lot.
Indeed it is. Now they're going in onto this Shaman. They do drop those wards, but out comes the stun from Mousy to stop the go from that Shackles. They do still have the follow-up with those Cold Feet. And the Sunstrike! Ooh! Inches from hitting Mousy there.
Wow, very close. But that's kind of a wasted Serpent Ward, though, which Andy goes down with it. So, not going to get a tower out of this one. Although, tier 1 is low, so might just clean it up shortly.
Definitely a bit of a turn in this early game with now out of the top 3, 2 of the top 3 cores coming from the side of Joons. They are still struggling on Faith Kian on this Timber, but Timber saw a hero who, you know, is more worried about his levels. His levels are still awful, don't get me wrong, but is a hero that can recover in this kind of game.
Yeah, he is. He's got the 4 points in the Timber chain along with the Shredder, so he's going to be able to farm up in his jungle, try and get something back.
Mousy looks like he's going to try to deny this tower before this wave arrives, more likely, so it's going to take, and
Shirks
might get it. And meanwhile, Shirks takes out Felkian solo.
Yeah, the Blade Mill just doing so much there, and I think Timbersaw casted a spell on the Blade Mill, and then the dunk was there from Shirks to finish him off after the call. So, just as we're saying, he should be looking to farm back into this game. Goes down to his opposite man on the offlane.
Yeah, not Faith Kian's day today. Shirk's having a really nice performance so far this series. Gozdrunk's driver in the Windy is still yet to hit that level 6 as well, so he's really going to be trying to get that quite soon. Going to make quite the difference in these team fights potentially. Looking into this mid lane right now, or back to this top lane, Gozdrunk's driver on the Windy, he is building towards that Yules, which will be quite good into that Monkey once he has it, but it's going to be a while before he gets there, right, Click?
Yeah, good against Axe as well, though. For these calls, and you know, Axe, he's gonna have this Blink Dagger soon, though. Likely will make some plays as they do smoke up.
Indeed,
Trying to find maybe this SF.
Looks like the Windy has to make the run away from Shirks. The SF could be the one in trouble. He is clearing out stacks right now. Catalyst having a nice start to this game compared to the last game. He has the Falcon Blade and the Mask of Madness finished, now building in towards that Dragon Lance. So I'd like to see a bit more impact from him this game.
Yeah, looks like they're coming down here. Might try and defend this tower. They at least want to get the Wisdom.
Yeah, the Wisdom goes their way this way, but they might lose Catalyst to do so. Do they have the follow-up? They have the roll coming out from the Pango. It's doing a lot of damage, but is it enough to save this SF? It's not. They trade out this big Undying for this Shadow Fiend. They're more than happy to make that trade on the side of Wongs. They do manage to secure the Wisdom in doing so, but still probably not worth it, right?
Yeah, it seems weird, but I actually think it's not that bad. Like, they save their tower, they get the Tombstone Gold as well. And at the start of that, like, Shadow Fiend might go down for free. So the fact that they got the Undying out of that as well, I think they'll reflect on it not too badly, to be fair. So,
Nagy with another kill onto GDD. Gozdrunk's driver on this Windy in the fountain gets Sunstriked, finding it difficult to find a way into this game. And Kamki goes down to Solarcrest solo, but in comes the call coming up from Shirks.
Whoa.
He pops Mousy. Now it's Solarcrest in trouble. Here comes the next one. Indeed, down he goes. Nagy dominating with a double kill. 3 for 1 in this mid lane off the back of an overzealous jump and a great TP from Shirks.
yeah, that's a tough trade there. Blink coming out from the Axe at the right time. And yeah, just brutal for them as you know, Solarcrest, he wants to get a lot done on this Pango in the early game, try and help his other cores as much as possible, but Axe causing all kinds of problems so far. But
Indeed. It's been a great series so far for Shirks, especially coming off yesterday, where he struggled in a couple of games there. Really not shutting him down. This dual core approach that the side of Wongs are doing are really coming up in huge stocks here. 3K up now at 15 minutes.
yeah, I mean, they're keeping it fairly close in terms of net worth, but it slowly feels like they're running out of map. And actually, the supports here, they're gonna try and get Roshan between the Serpent Ward and the Tombstone.
Ro is ready on the Pango. He has the
damage.
Blink Dagger finished as well. They spot the Axe off the back of the fight. He's thrown back by Mousy. He gets the taunt. Oh, Solarcrest, God's drunkest driver is him this time. And he tries to get to the pit, but he can't do so. But Mousy goes in, and it's a little bit too early. It seems like they are probably going to kill off this Axe.
Oh, that's...
But at what cost? Instead, they end up losing that Aegis, and now this Pangolier is all but dead. A disastrous run of play there for the side of Joon Squad, and their Wind Rider runs into the Mass Serpent Ward. It's the 3-for-0 with an Aegis response.
Oof, that Pango, unfortunate, just bouncing on the wrong bit of rubble at the wrong time. Didn't get as much value out of that as they would have wanted to. But I think SF, he was kind of there, but kind of chilling on the edge of the fight. I mean, at least the Aegis went onto Undying, and I think someone went down to Roshan there. Yeah, it was Mousy actually got smacked in the face by Roche, so at least they didn't give up gold for that. But yeah, not ideal, not ideal. First Aegis going onto the Undying Kamki.
Yeah, well done by Kamki to steal that. In the end, if that Pangolier does make it into that pit, or if Mousy is able to click just a little bit faster, they're a very different fight. But in the end, it secures a pretty solid lead now for the side of Wongs, the 5k net worth advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I think all three cores are pretty happy as well. Like Invoker's just being able to chill, throw his Sunstrikes out. Meanwhile, Axe with his Blink Dagger and Blade Mill getting a lot done. Yeah, to really see the impact from this support duo though on Joon's as
jump in from the Axe with the
caught.
Blink Dagger, and then Wind Rider gets caught immediately and goes down quite quickly.
Yeah, it's the thankless job of taking the dangerous farm. If Axe is in the right place at the right time, and so.
Speaking of dangerous farm, they've got the Pangolier jumping with the Blink from Maniac. They kill Solarcrest again.
Yeah, he had a very nice start, to be fair, on this Pango. No, it just feels like he can't really do anything. Doesn't have enough damage yet. He's got the Ags queued up. He's going to need that before he can really, amplify his own damage. But in the meantime, at least SF is farming up. Like I say, he needs this window of time just to get a few of his items.
Catalyst on the SF going for that Hurricane Pike, going to be really important this game to get him away from things like those Invoker combos, like that Axe, like that Undying. But I guess the one saving grace here is at least that the Undying is the one to pick up that Aegis, means they can't get quite as much out of it as they would like to.
Yeah, not quite, but one thing we haven't mentioned in a wee while is this Coral Monkey King is top of the net worth, having a very, very solid game so far. He's got his Radiance going straight for the Eye of Skadi. Just wants to tank up with stats, I guess, and also decent against the Timber and Marcy.
Looks like they're going to try to address this here. 4 heroes here. He drops off that jump, but he jumps immediately away, recognizing the rotation coming out from the side of the Joon Squad. But now he's jumped off the trees, used the Boundless. They could potentially catch him out here. If not, Kamki. Looks like they want to set up around this tier 1. Just like last game, all 3 tier 1s of the side of Joons are down, and Joons are yet to take a tier 1 for the opposition side.
Yeah, it just makes playing the game really difficult. Like, you see there, it looked like they wanted to go on this
rotation now. Onto the Axe, they use the Blink, they use the Power Shot, they're doing a lot of damage onto him. Follow up here as well with the Timber. Looks like this Axe is up shit creek paddleless, doing what he can to stay alive for now. But nice Tornado coming out from Nagi, keeps him alive. He dodges away with the Blink, meaning he doesn't get assassinated from that Power Shot. Instead, with a 5-man rotation, it's Diddles who goes down.
That call onto the Pangolier when it was mid-roll, unable to, you're not able to move left or right. once that's on you. Just wasn't able to turn in time, and
Oh, hang on, Mousy could be in some
Mousy.
trouble here. Uh-oh.
oh,
Very close.
Carl
Still being
wants
chased
him.
down by the
He
monkey.
wants
Coral
him.
wants it. He wants it. Oh, he's got him. Whoop. Oh,
off the mark.
just off the mark. Very close there. But now Faith Kian, the nice timber chain out, does get away from this danger. But that was very close to a nice free kill there for Coral.
You can see here how. Oh no way!
No fucking way. This guy is just. He's wall hacking. It's the only way.
He's having an amazing. Like honestly, sometimes they just hit. Sometimes they just hit. Like you could have 10 games in a row. You don't hit a single Fountain Sunstrike, and you'll have one where you just hit it every single time. And that actually puts Invoker top of net worth. Unbelievable.
He's 7-0 on Nagi right now. This is, Nagi's most prided, famous hero, but he really is doing what he can. Shirk says Defo shouting slurs. No. Probably not. I know these guys.
Oh.
I know these guys quite well. I'm going to say probably not. But in any actuality, this game is still going on. Joon's doing what they can to come back into this one, but 10k net worth lead now at 21 minutes.
Yep. It looked like a much more promising draft and early game for Joon squad, but as you say, they're just taking these fights a bit more accurately.
Going now onto the Undi. The Undi does put himself into the bunker. He's going to die after, but God, oh my God, Nagi is just ridiculous, man. Every single time a fight looks like it's going to go well, he's here on the Invoker, dropping 50 billion spells, turning it towards their favor. It's insane the amount of impact he's having on this lane. And now Mousy looks like he's going to go down immediately thereafter. Chop for Shirk's unstoppable on this axe. The Nagi Invoker, they might take out the Shaman for this, not even. Instead, it looks like it might be the Pango who's in trouble. Hit up with those shackles. The ult comes out from the monkey. And Nagi with the Sunstrike. This guy's Invoker is just too good, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the perfect setup as well between the axe call and the shackles. Just has so much, like, all it takes is one ping, one call, he's right there with the Sunstrike. Very, very nicely played. And, SF, he's a long way off to this BKB. It might be too late.
Especially with Nagi now hunting him down just a little bit south. Doesn't quite connect to the SF. Catalyst really going to need this farm. This BKB is pretty much essential before he can fight. We haven't seen him necessarily show up to these fights quite yet because he's been waiting for it. But meanwhile, recognizing that, Maniac does drop the mass Serpent Wards onto that mid tower. That mid tower is going to go down quite quickly. We're inspecting the Shadow Fiend, seeing what he can do. Mousy tries to pop down that ward, does get the gold, but loses his tower in doing so and drops his ultimate.
Yep, Lunatic will see that as a win, definitely. If your support is able to take a tier 2 himself with one spell, then, big win for him.
Indeed, this play here has to work. All of the side of Joon's squad are getting ready, trying to wait for Hero to show, but Diddles does show the movement, and now Faith Kian blinks in with the Whirling Death, so they aren't going to get anything out of this. Roche back up potentially in 39 seconds. They really need to make this smoke play land. Smoke comes out from the side of the Joon squad, and it needs to be a good one. This is almost a game
bit split up here.
And they're split up, as well as the fact that they've been immediately hexed. Coming out from the Shaman, Blinken comes out from this Timber Saw. They jump immediately onto the Shaman thereafter, but he's put into the bunker. And now there's something they can do. They try to throw out some damage onto this Undying, but it's doing very little. Nobody going down yet. Now the call comes off the axe. Looks like Mousy will be first to fall. Looks like the Solar Crest coming thereafter. Faith Kian's the third. It's a 3-for-0. It's now 16k at 24 minutes. This is looking all but done for the side of the Joon squad.
They just can't get that clean engagement at the beginning there, and Solar Crest ended up between a rock and a hard place, bouncing back and forth like a pinball. And yeah, it feels like every time they try and initiate on someone, they're just too quick on on the Hex or on the Blink Dagger is able to evade them and then re-engage once they kind of see everybody where they are. So yeah, very, very tough to play into. And this ward is just off cooldown. We play straight away onto the tower.
Indeed, it is 10 seconds till any heroes are back from the side of Joon. They do use that Fortify, which means that this ward is likely to go down quite quickly. A nice draft, but once again, an inability to execute. And now they go immediately onto Mousy. They have the Sunstrike. Nagi, godlike on the Invoker.
Yeah. Even with
And
that
worth
Yule
for
Scepter
Mousy.
onto the axe there, too much damage from the Sunstrike. Worth, yeah, he gets the worth. But yeah, it's looking it's looking a bit like last game now. They're very shut out of their map. The person with the player with the auras this time around is Camkionus Undying with the mech, just keeping his team alive, keeping himself alive in a few situations now, and yeah, they're just kind of balling up at this point.
Looking particularly difficult for the side of Joon squad, doing what they can to keep themselves in here. But once again, they haven't even taken a tier 1.
Yeah, BKB nearly finished though on the SF.
Meanwhile, though,
Solar Crest is
Solarcrest
gone.
caught out by this Nagi Invoker trying to roll, but there's nothing he can do. Nagi just locks him down with that meatball and that nice use of the Covey. Nice use there from Diddles. Stops a disastrous secondary go, but you still have no Pango again. He's died so many times in fast succession. There's very little he can get done this game. Meanwhile, it looks like
Looks
now
like
we're going
Coral's
to go
found
on
himself
the
something.
Catalyst. Catalyst hit up with those shackles and that Sunstrike. The axe doesn't even bother. He walks away. Cool guys don't look at explosions. Junes are falling apart here. There's no other word for it.
Yeah, they are indeed. 20k net worth it as well. 30 kills to 10. Every goal they've tried has just been, you know, completely dealt with between the Undying and the Shaman. A couple of counter initiations from this axe as well, and not to mention this Nag Invoker coming in with the tornadoes at the right time, able to kind of stop any of these plays coming out, and that's why they need these BKBs in order to fight.
Indeed, they pop the ult on
Oh
Mousy,
no.
but he immediately just walks into the axe with the follow-up of that Sunstrike. He just dies. He can't deal with the Mass Serpent Ward, and now it's chopping down their range racks. The range racks are going to be gone very soon. The follow-up as well from this Monkey King. He drops the Yules, and Godsrunker's driver tries to escape, but he's hexed. He's hit up with that dunk. Down he goes. One last Pango roll, but the roll is just not achieving what it wants to. Buyback as well from Mousy, but it's doing so little here. The Pango doesn't have the damage to re-engage here, and they have the mech coming out from the Undyings. They're all fully healthy.
Yeah, SF only just spawned now, and you know they tried to go there to defend their racks, but I think it's gonna. I don't think they've got anything left in the tank, and Roshan is up. I think they'll just look to take that and then head to the high ground. So this is gonna have to be an incredible hold at this point, if they're able to, because you know there's just so much sustain, so much health, great control in terms of the axe and the shaman. Just at every single turn seem to have it, but actually looks like they want to come out and try a fight here before Roche.
Seems like this might be the Hail Mary play, but they have no vision here for this Invoker. So Godsrunker's driver is the one caught instead, and he's dead almost immediately. He dodged the MP with that Yules for just a moment, but the follow-up of the Tornado should take him down. The call as well from the Axe catches onto the SF, and the SF is dead. Follow-up as well from Monkey King. This might be a GG call right now. Down goes Faith Kian. It's the 3-0, 25k net worth lead at 28 minutes. They don't need the Aegis. They're just going to go straight in. It's looking so tough for the side of Junes. They're sending back their Invoker to try catch out this little bit of a wave split as well. Can they get away with the teleport? They do get away on the Pango, but Mousy might not be so lucky. He's spotted by that ward, but he does manage to walk away in the end. But in the meantime, they're losing their mid barracks. And he comes in with the roll. His heroes aren't back. He doesn't have the damage to be able to do this, does it feel like. They're hitting them, but it's not doing anything. He's taking more damage than Mass Serpent Ward than the rest of them are from his roll. So that's his roll down and nothing gained.
Yeah, that's very, very tough for them now. Oh my goodness. Like, you got one set of racks left. The question is, do Wongs go back for the Aegis? No? No, they want to go in.
No, they're going in, hex out onto Faith Kian, follow up with the call as well. They have the Sunstrike, they don't even need it. Follow up with those shackles as well onto Godsrunker's driver. It's a 2-0 so far, and they're not quite done. They're still pummeling in onto this mid lane. They take out the ward, they take out this little building. Right clicks coming out from Nagi. They're moving away for a moment. I don't even think they have to go for this Aegis. I think this top lane and then Aegis is probably the move. That's what they do. Jump in now as well.
SF.
Onto this SF in some trouble. Nice throw there from Mousy to save him from that double Cataclysm Sunstrike. But in the meantime, they do just take down the top racks for free.
Yeah, second lane down. I think at this point they should play it safe, go for the Aegis, but we'll see how they're feeling. They've got a 30k net worth lead. It seems almost insurmountable at this point.
1K
Massive
per
win
minute.
probability. Jesus.
It's feeling pretty damn rough for the side of the Joon squad. You know, good showings in previous seasons, yet to really show the level of skill that they had this time around, and just really struggling in a way that, you know, they wouldn't necessarily beat Wongs in the past, but they wouldn't have games like this. Like, this is
I
looking
genuinely
extremely
I
rough.
think Wongs are playing so well. They're playing unbelievably well. Like their team synergy, this game has just been excellent. I can't think of a hero, someone who's like not performed at a high level on their team this game. Just unbelievable across the board.
And while I can't say anyone has played not at a perfect level, I got to give one specific shout out. Nagi on this Invoker has been
He
everywhere
hasn't
all
died.
the time.
Neither is Carl, but yeah, he's gonna find one
But
again.
this is what I mean. He's caught once again. Maniac's there with the shackles, with the hex. Right clicks coming out on the stuff. He throws the BKB as well, but he's just dead. They try to make a follow-up fight here. It looks like they might get the Shaman. This might be all she wrote, though. Right clicks coming out on top of him. They do just choose to take out the Shaman rather than go for anything more than that. They do take out Maniac in doing so, but is that what you want out of your role? They get the stun out onto the Axe. Buyback now from Lunatic. Godstriker's driver goes down on this Windy. Follow up well. Mousy immediately chopped down by that. Nothing he can do to respond.
Yeah, too many stats on Coral there. He's very, very tanky. And this SF, I mean, it's like Nagi is in his head. It's every time, you know, SF has either died or been close to dying, Nagi has just been there. Same with Lunatic, though, jumping in with the Hex.
He has the Hex as well as that Shackles, and they just pop down Faith Kian. This must be it. Can you let me respond so I can die to Mass Serpent again? Mousy calls, and GG, well played. Called by the side of the Joon squad. Joon squad now 0-3 in this group stage, and Wongs securing second place in Div1.
Yeah. Yeah, thoroughly well played there, honestly. Excellent game. I mean, a real bounce back from last night. So, yeah, well played to them. Deserved victors. I'm sure Joon squad, I think there's more in the tank from them. To be honest, I just think Wong's played at a very high level tonight.
Yeah, I think last night might have put the fire under their asses metaphorically, and Joon squad, you know, yet to pick up a game, never mind a series this season. Not something we're familiar with seeing from the stack, and there's clearly something that needs to be fixed. Perhaps this is the game that will allow them to get a bit of insight into whether or not they can fix it. In any actuality, Wongs picking up that 2-0 do secure second place in that top division. A very important second place to secure, and a very deserved one. This looked like an entirely different team to last night.
Yeah, certainly. And like you said before the game, they'd got on, you know, 4 of their comfort heroes here. And it just showed in the game. They just looked so comfortable in every move they were making, every counterplay as well, especially with these tier 1s being up. It's one of the benefits of the Shaman, able to, you know, take the enemy tier 1s in the early game, and then when they try and siege your own or they try and make a play on yours, you're available with the teleports, and the counter initiations were excellent. So yeah, but I think Joon squad should reflect on this somewhat positively. Like I think they actually solved some of their draft problems from game 1 to game 2, and hopefully they kind of don't repeat that mistake of being too greedy. And I think they just kind of got a bit, you know, they let through a couple of heroes that they just shouldn't have, like the Undying and the Shadow Shaman, which just kind of allowed them to roll over this game.
We're waiting for confirmation, Mr. Nagy. Do we think we'll have a post game? Say, Mr. Anti, I should say. Do we think we'll have a post game interview here with Mr. Maniac, or are we signing off here? I think we can chat about it, yeah. So looking after this game, so if you're Sentinels and you've just watched that performance by the side of Wongs against Joon squad, what hero are you banning? As that's likely, you know, at this point going to be the finals of Div 1. These two teams have entirely dominated.
They have dominated, yeah. I think that allowing the Shaman is is very tough to play into because it enables so much. There's the initiation from the the instant hex. There's the tower push. There's the shackles, which Nagi just loves because of on this Invoker he can just land every single Sunstrike. I mean, he wasn't needing the shackles for most of them, to be fair, but just it does so much. I think Lunatic really played well in this game, and I don't think you let Shaman through against this team. The others, they all complement each other. To be fair, Undying is another hero which just gives you so much in the early game because you have pretty solid lane. Like Coral was at one point, 3 levels ahead off the Timber Saw, which it just shouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen if it wasn't an Undying he was playing into, but it was. So I think that the support duo definitely pulled their weight. You need to watch out for those going forward.
We saw two different approaches from the side of Joon Squad between the two games. The first game going for that more core heavy approach in the offlane. The second game trying to make something work with the Timber Saw, the more active core. Do we think the active core approach works better, or do we think Faith Kian is better off going for one of those farming cores?
I think he'd be better on an active core, but I think you need to ban out these strong roll 5s that stop him from having a lane. If he gets a lane, which I would say Shirks had, for example, game 1 on his Darkseer, got a lot done in the early game, built his mech, built his pipe, whatnot. Just seemed to delete the towers as he ran around with his lane partner. If Faith Kian has like a kind of similar experience, I think, in his lane, then he can look to be the aggressor. And I think a big part of Dota at the moment is taking this safe lane tower early, which they just weren't able to do in this game because, like I say, the Undying and Monkey King lane was just too strong.
Last question I have for you in terms of this draft is looking at what they've done with Shirk. So they gave him the Axe, they gave him the Darkseer, those two games. What do you think the impact of the offlaner was in these two games?
I actually think Shirks was playing a very high level in both of the games. He did his job basically. Had a good lane. Went for the earn build on Axe as well, just to give him a bit more armor and be very able to oppress both this Marcy and the Shadow Fiend in lane with his battle hunger, and then was able to convert into a tower early on, go back for the blade mail and into the blink. He just had a great impact overall. A few 2-man calls as well, big ones, which turned a couple of team fights as well, and in combination with the invoker spells, like I say, their synergy just looked very, very, very neat tonight. So yeah, I'd like to see more of this from them as well, and it should set up what we think could be the finals as well against Sentinels, who they looked strong last night. So both these teams are just playing at, I would say, a similar level, and I very much look forward to seeing the next time they face off against each other.
I gotta say, Click, I've just seen the face cam come for you. What a handsome Scottish man we have in front of us. But speaking of handsome, we're gonna hop into one channel below and have a quick conversation with Nagy, the mid laner for Wong's Bakery, to talk about that game that we've just had. So if we hop in one channel below, we're gonna have a quick conversation with them. Let's go.
Hello.
Hello, Nagy. How are we doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay, so first question for me. Obviously, last night was a difficult game for you guys.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine the aftermath of it with the discussions that are being had. Can you give us some insight into what kind of conversations were had last night and how it ended up resulting in what was genuinely, I think, one of the best Wongs performances I've seen in the 2 years that I've casted you?
I mean, we did have conversations last night. I wouldn't say like these two series are comparable. Like one is against good players and one is against these guys. Like so, it's a little bit different. Like how you have to play.
Okay.
Like we get to play very passive, but the conversations last night, I feel like were pretty on this. The first game was really hard. Like we were behind from the start, and we let DB through, and it's really hard to play against that hero, especially if you can't kill it when it's split, and if you can't team fight it, then what can you really do? Like Coral was trying hard to 1v9, but yeah. So I feel like we just spoke about that, And then the second game, I can't even remember why we lost, but we lost. I think we all played bad, to be honest.
That's fair enough. The next question I have is in response to the draft strategy from game one this game. So you insta-locked the Quap. Is that on the basis of it being a flex between your one and mid, or are you just so confident in the mid lane that you don't care what comes out in response to it?
I think like both. It's like a top 3 hero of the patch, maybe top 1. So it's really hard to beat. Like it's a blade mail meta patch. So yeah, we're just like really confident in it on all roles. So, and there's not a lot of mids left that can beat it in the pool. Like if Sniper and Puck are banned, then like Cop doesn't really have any bad matchups, especially not Leshrac.
Yeah. My last question for you very quickly is just in response to kind of the mentality difference. Do you think tonight has changed how you guys are thinking about this tournament going forward? I know that you said you were quite confident about the matchup going in terms of your skill difference versus the team, but was this win important for the mentality of your team, I suppose, is what I'm getting down to here?
I think so, especially after playing with a stand-in. It's like nice to win when you got your boy back. But yeah, it's important. Like snowball wins and stuff. Understand what's gone wrong. Like yeah, it's all important. Like road to winning again.
Excellent. I'll throw it over to Click for this last question before we finish up.
Yeah, just a quick one. This quad pick on 8. I mean, it's quite aggressive. Are you just that comfortable on this hero in terms of putting in either lane and against pretty much anything at this point? Is this where the hero is at right now?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it like the losing matchups or like that it has, or the hard ones are all banned. So you can just put it anywhere and I'll have a good game.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much,
fair
Nagy.
enough.
Congratulations on your victory. Best of luck in your playoffs in the following weeks. And I'm glad to see Wongs are back to your confident, strong selves. Folks, that's all you're going to have from us for this evening. Once again, you could have been anywhere tonight. You chose to be with us, and I massively appreciate it. And from myself, from Click, from the ever so handsome, so talented, and so diligent Auntie, thank you so much for joining us. Our Discord is in the description. If you have never seen this before, you're wondering what's going on, you want to be a part of this, please do join it. It's a great community that has really done a lot for me and I think can do a lot for you. Click, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. That was excellent. Had a lot of fun and a couple of good games. So yeah, cheers.
Honor and a pleasure. Stay tuned, folks. I think our next game that's likely coming up, still to be confirmed, this Sunday, a Div 2 game between Lou's Last Hitters and a crowd of very handsome gamers known as Fear the Samurai. So keep a watch, keep a lookout. I will see you again soon. See ya, folks.
Yeah, let's go. I ain't the first with the curse, with the thirst that I wanna be better, not worse, man, it hurts. I'm on this earth with my words and I put them all together, insert, cause I wanna have worth. Working hella hard till they put me in the dirt. Gonna go far, man, listen to my words. Gonna be a star, man, life's like a blur. When you're working this hard till you get the stronger. Yeah, I ain't taking a backseat, I'm passing anybody else who is rapping, I'm nasty. Ain't nobody able to catch me, they gasping. They cannot compare, they can't match me, I'm at half speed. I got your girl and she laughing and dancing, hanging on my butt, she asking to crash with me. Smash with me, she savage, she wants cash money, and she knows that I live lavishly. I wanna live, I'm cold inside. Give all I have just to feel alive. I fight to live, I fight to strive. One day I'll have what I want. I want the whole world in the palm of my hand. I got a plan, I'm the man. Now I'm teaching the game, a veteran, better than anybody else who tests me. I'm ready, looking in my hand and it's empty. I'm trending, ascending and blending, lyrical bending. Now I'm spreading and getting my name out now. Yeah, they hearing me laugh. All the crowds repping the sound. I'm hitting the ground, running, up and coming. Ain't nothing, yeah, rookie of the year. I'ma keep it 100, cold-blooded, no budget. From nothing to something, I ain't bluffing. I got a full hand and a full plan. I ain't gonna stop till I'm at the top, man. Every single drop got me feeling awesome. I'm about to pop, started from the bottom, but I wanna live, here now and I'm staying. Toss out this the fight that I've been craving. I know there's something inside of me, but it's been masked by fear and anxiety. But no more, I'ma break out of the chain. Let's go! I'm waking up, this ain't enough. All of my dreams were starting to rust, but I believe that I can adjust. Positive thoughts, I'm starting to trust. Nothing's deserved unless you work. Something of worth requires an urge. I have been hurt by those at their worst, but that gave me will, some power, a surge. And they know that I won't
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They view me as a contender. Now that they all remember, I will be I've been filled with demons and hunger. I am the thunder, I command the masses in numbers. Look at the fear in their eyes, this is what happens when you are surprised. It's time to meet your demise, just call me Zeus and look to the sky. Everything's amplified, no they cannot deny, I will be rectified. If you let me find scars that you left behind, injuries that define me to my core. They'll hear me roar like never before, the pain I absorbed, it's feeding my core. I'm hard to ignore, I'll beat down your door. If you wanted war, well then you got war.